Some stories begin with a lie, but end with the truth we didn't know we needed. My name is Michael Latham, and this is the story of how pretending to be someone I wasn't taught me who I really am. It started one winter in a quiet coastal town in Maine. I was 35, between jobs, and struggling to find my place. One evening, at the small diner I used to visit, a man named Charlie, the town postman, told me about an elderly widow, Mrs. Eleanor Grant. "She's got no one left," Charlie said. "Lost her son years ago. Every week she still asks if there's a letter from him." Something about that image broke my heart. A mother, waiting for a letter that would never come. Charlie sighed. "She believes he had a child somewhere. She calls him the Heir." And that night, in a moment I still don't fully understand, I said something I never thought I would. What if I told her I was that heir? Charlie stared at me. Then he laughed, until he realized I wasn't joking. "Mike," he said, "that's crazy. You can't just show up pretending to be someone's family." But I wasn't thinking about the lie. I was thinking about that lonely woman, waiting for someone who would never walk through her door. The next day, I knocked on her porch, white paint peeling, wind whistling through the cracks. When she opened the door, her eyes, soft, grey, tired, studied my face. "Yes?" she asked gently. I hesitated, then whispered, "Mrs. Grant, I think I might be your grandson." Her hands trembled. She didn't speak, then tears filled her eyes. "My grandson," she whispered. I knew he existed, and before I could stop her, she hugged me, tightly, as if she'd waited her whole life for that moment. That hug, that warmth, was the beginning of everything that followed. Days turned into weeks, and my visits became routine. She'd bake cookies, tell stories of her son, Thomas, the soldier who never came home. Sometimes she'd cry mid-sentence, and I'd just sit there, holding her hand, pretending to listen as her grandson. But really, I was just a man trying to fill a silence. At first, it felt harmless. She was happier. I was needed. Then she showed me a box, filled with old photographs, medals, and letters. "Everything that's left of him," she said. Then she handed me a folded letter. "It's the last thing he ever wrote." I read it aloud. His words were full of hope and love, and one line caught me off guard. "If my son ever finds this letter, tell him that no lie is ever worth losing the truth." Those words hit me hard, almost like they were written for me. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying her voice, her trust, her smile. The next day, as I arrived at the house, I noticed someone else on the porch, a woman about my age, wearing a navy coat and holding a suitcase. She looked at me curiously. "You must be Michael," she said. "I've heard about you." I blinked. "And you are?" She smiled softly. "I'm Laura Grant, Eleanor's real granddaughter." My stomach dropped. The lie, my small, stupid kindness, was about to fall apart. She studied my face, then said quietly, "I know you're not family, but whatever you did, you made her happy again." Before I could respond, the front door opened. Eleanor stepped out, beaming. "Oh, my 2 grandchildren together," she said joyfully. "Isn't that wonderful?" Laura looked at me, and I saw something unexpected in her eyes, understanding. She smiled for Eleanor's sake, and for that one afternoon, we both pretended. A few weeks later, Eleanor passed peacefully in her sleep. In her will, she left everything, the house, her letters, her memories, to her grandchildren, to both of us. Laura and I stood side by side at the service. No anger, no blame, just silence and the sound of ocean wind. Afterward, she said, "You did a kind thing, even if it began with a lie." I nodded. Maybe kindness doesn't always start clean, but it can still end pure. We stayed in touch after that, cleaned up the old house, read her letters together. And slowly, the strange bond that started from a lie became something real. Family isn't always about blood, I learned. Sometimes it's about the people who show up, even for the wrong reasons. Now, every Christmas, Laura and I visit her grave. We bring flowers and play her favorite song on the old record player. And as the music plays, I whisper, "You are right, Mrs. Grant. No lie is worth losing the truth." Moral: kindness can come from false beginnings, because even when intentions falter, love has a way of making things right. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Share your thoughts or a story from your own life. And don't forget to subscribe for more true emotional stories about forgiveness, love, and the lessons we find in unexpected places. Until next time, take care of each other and lead with kindness, even when it starts imperfect.